Good morning, I'm Sunetra Choudhury, political editor of the Hindustan Times, bringing you all that you need to know about Covid-19 on Tuesday, the 14th of July. First up, a look at the numbers. In just the last 24 hours, there have been 28,242 new cases across the country. The total number of deaths stands at 23,713, which brings us to our top story, where the total number of COVID infections has now crossed 900,000 across the country. Now, the good news in all of this is that Delhi, Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, are they flattening the curve? It certainly looks like it, because for the first time since May, the total number of new cases across the country seems to exceed the total number of new cases in these three states. Remember, till just a few weeks ago, it was completely different, and they were the ones who were making up a chunk of the new cases and the total number of infections. But now that seems to be plateauing. It especially seems so when it comes to the capital and for Tamil Nadu. But even though Maharashtra's new cases are rising, Mumbai seems to be flattening out. So that is the good news. So new points of infection in the country are emerging. The next story that we have for you is the link between BCG vaccine, and could that be the reason why India and other such countries which use the BCG vaccine for vaccinating against childhood tuberculosis, is that the reason why the incidence and the infections of coronavirus in India have been less severe? Well, now there are two studies which say so. One which has been done in the US, the other one has been done by JNU researchers. Both have been peer-reviewed, and they say that the quality of protection that the BCG vaccine gives depends on the strain of the vaccine that has been used for vaccination. For instance, the BCG mix that has been used in India is much more effective than other strains like the BCG Russia. However, not everyone is as convinced by this new study that has emerged. The next story that we have is a study that has been done by the NGO Save the Children across the world, and it says that 10 million children may never return to school after the lockdowns across the world. The study says that 90% of the student population in schools and universities have been impacted by the pandemic. It's something that has never been seen before, and they say that the economic crisis that it has created may push many children into employment. Many girls may be pushed into early marriages, and so this huge number, 10 million children, may not ever return to school. The study also warned that there could be, by 2021, a major shortfall in education budgets across the world. So really grim news when it comes to education. But for some better news now, and New York City for the first time reported no deaths on Sunday. This shows just how far it has come from the high number of deaths that it saw in the months of April, in the months of May. But there are now new epicenters, just like we're seeing in India, in the US as well. Florida has become the new center of the coronavirus infections. In fact, it saw 15,000 new cases just in that state on Sunday, which is a record high for America. And finally, it took a doctor to turn into a driver so that one person, one coronavirus victim, could have a proper cremation. Dr. Pandyala Sriram in Telangana turned into a tractor driver because there was no ambulance available in order to carry the body to the cremation grounds. There was a major panic because in this Telangana district there had not been a death before, and so Dr. Sriram himself drove the body to the cremation ground for the last rites. Those are news updates for now. Keep tracking them on HindustanTimes.com.